Hey all, Hipper here. So you want to be a pirate? That's good because two games have just come out, Skull and Bones and Sea of Conquest. They're both pirate games. And the difference is that one of them is a full price console game that costs $70. The other one is a free to play mobile game that is, well, free to play. So if you really want to, get out there and sink ships and be a pirate, which one would be the best pick? So don't forget to subscribe, I will tell you in this video here. So obviously the first thing to keep in mind is that Skull and Bones is like I said before, full-fledged console game. So it's more action focused, actually almost entirely action focused, while on the other hand Sea of Conquest is a mobile game, right? So the action is less of a focus in that game, and like strategic thinking, tactical thinking, and a bit of almost real-time strategy is the core of that game. So if we keep in mind that these are in their very nature different games, we can still do a comparison here if all you want to do is be a pirate, which is pretty much in my case exactly that. So I already covered the combat, which is obviously different. Like I said, Skull and Bones is far more action-packed, and Sea of Conquest is more of a clicky affair where you guide your ship top down, and combat is really just a matter of clicking an enemy ship and then battling it out in automatic mode. That's about it. It doesn't mean that it's not exciting though, and it doesn't mean that it's not fun. It's just slightly different, right? So next up I'll talk about the trading aspect, because both games have a trading part of it where you buy and sell stuff at ports, and you sail back and forth and you try to make a profit. And both games pull that off fairly okay. If I have to be honest, I think Sea of Conquest actually does a better job. There's simply just more stuff to trade. There's more interesting trade routes. It's also more interesting really to do that trading really, because there's more of a goal in the fact that you are trading, because if we look at the longevity of the games, obviously Sea of Conquest is going to win there. It's not even a contest really, because that game is probably one of the potentially longest games I have ever seen in my life. Seasons keep coming out, and the seasons are jam-packed with content. It's quite amazing for a free game. Now Ubisoft has promised us that there will be seasons in Skull and Bones as well, but from what I've seen so far, what has been released by the company, it seems that seasons are going to be a fairly hollow affair, and of course that's very different from Sea of Conquest, where you really get a lot of bang for your buck, or not really bang for your buck because you haven't actually invested any bucks in it, which is obviously the main difference between these two games here, other than the fact that one is top down and one is third person, whatever you want to call it. So if we look at another aspect of the games, it's the multiplayer. And Skull and Bones, sure, it's got it. It shows its age, let's just be honest here, because there's not that many players in the game, and it's fun to run into someone on the open seas, and you sink a few ships together, and that's about it. And you can also group up with friends and do a few missions and stuff like that. So it's fairly normal stuff. If you compare that to Sea of Conquest, where pretty much the whole core of the game is to build a strong gang and use that gang to rule season after season after season. It's a very different take, and it's also a far more modern take on multiplayer, because let's be honest here, the age of Skull and Bones is shining through. It's a fairly old game. It was development started 10 years ago or something like that, and it shows that. So when it comes to the multiplayer aspect, well, Sea of Conquest wins hands down there, in my opinion. Then we have the customization aspect, and again, Sea of Conquest takes the crown here. There's just so many ways to build your ship. I mean, it's not like Skull and Bones is missing customization. There's a lot of options, but so far, it's limited to guns and kind of crossbows and torpedoes and stuff like that. And I don't think anything new is going to be added. So I need to give it like a little time, but I'm pretty sure in a month or two, someone will have figured out what the best build is, and that'll be it. Everyone's going to run that, and yeah, that's just not going to be very interesting, really. On the other hand, Sea of Conquest, there's just so many options. Like, you have so many ships you can like earn in the game, plus you have heroes and you have items, and you can upgrade both heroes and items in so many ways, and there's so many combinations of, you know, stuff to try out and ships to test out, and you will find your perfect build somehow. And that is, of course, also an option in Skull and Bones. I just don't think that it is as fleshed out as it could be, even if you compare to other console ship games like World of Warships Legends, for example. It's just not the same thing. So the main question is, should you spend $70 on Skull and Bones when you can get what is, let's be honest here, a better experience, a better pirating experience on your mobile phone for free? Of course, you can spend money on Sea of Conquest, but you don't have to. It's not required. If you just, you know, continue as a free-to-play player, you will do fine. It's not required. So if you look at it that way, then the price tag on Skull and Bones seems a little bit out of place. It seems a bit excessive, and that is a theme that has been showing up in the last few years when we are, you know, comparing mobile phone games to console games, or PC games for that matter, but, you know, like full AAA releases. There's like kind of a theme shining through, and a good example of that would be Diablo Immortal, which is available on phones, and then Diablo 4, which is available on consoles and PC. And if you ask me, what's the better of those titles, I will tell you, I think Diablo Immortal is much, much better than Diablo 4. And Diablo Immortal is, again, a free game. You can just download it from the App Store and you can start playing it for free, and you can play the whole game for free. There's no paywalls at all. If you want to do PvP, yeah, then you maybe have to cough up a bit of money. But if you just want to do PvE, you can play the whole game over and over, using all classes, all characters, and there's nothing stopping you. And it's free. And there's also a lot more content for Diablo Immortal than there is for Diablo 4. And I see the same thing happening here. Now, I know, again, these two games here, Skull and Bones and Sea of Conquest, are very different. But again, the mobile game wins the comparison here, because it's pretty hard to justify, you know, charging $70. First of all, Skull and Bones is an old game, and it shows, so it really shouldn't be $70 in the first place. Maybe $40 would be more, you know, fair. But anyway, shelling out, let's say $50 for a game when you can get what is honestly a better game on your mobile that you can play on the go. And if you want to play it on your TV, you can just, you know, share your screen, really. And also don't forget that you will need PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live you know, subscription to be able to play with your friends. So again, here Sea of Conquest wins, and if it was me, I would pick Sea of Conquest because it's free and it's a better game. So it's something that the AAA distributors and, like, you know, the EA of the console world and PC world, they have to start taking this into account, that mobile games are starting to eclipse the full AAA releases on console and PC. So anyway, that was all I had to say, and like I said, I would pick Sea of Conquest out of these two. So let me know what you think in the comments, if you agree or disagree, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you out there.